Welcome to the Mind Solution Podcast with Sarah Maud. The Mind Solution Podcast is for leaders like you who are passionate about well-being in the workplace because you understand that a strong, resilient and happy workforce is the key to your organisation's success. The Mind Solution Podcast is here to help you. So join us every week where we'll share with you powerful insights, strategies and know-how to ensure that your people and your organisation are truly thriving from the inside out. Hi there, Sarah Maud from the Mind Solution International. And in this podcast, I'm going to be exploring what is draining your energy and what it is that you can do to recharge. Now, in the lead up to Christmas, it's very common that people feel particularly fatigued. They feel like they're coming up to the end of the year, they're coming up to Christmas, and they are spent. They're ready for that festive Christmas break. And depending on where we live in the world and what our customs are, how we celebrate this particular festive period, we might be feeling under pressure to get everything completed before we take time out from our roles, from our jobs. We might be feeling under pressure because we're hosting Christmas and, we've got to think about all the things that we've got to get from the supermarket. We've got to think about what it is that we're buying for one another if we haven't finished that Christmas shopping. There's a lot more things going on in our mind, which, combined with potentially the mix of eating a few too many mince pies, drinking a little bit too much alcohol, enjoying a few late nights in the form of Christmas parties, all of that can begin to take its toll, and we can feel that it's sapping our energy, that we're ready for that break. And whilst all of that is true, if we are not applying good self-care, if we are putting ourselves under pressure to get everything off our to-do list and completed before we take any kind of holiday or vacation, and we're going to be keeping ourselves in that stress response. If we are fixed to our computer, if we're not taking regular breaks, if we've let some of our daily habitual routines around going for walks or exercise or the amount of water that we consume, if we've let that slip, because more often than not, when we're under pressure, we actually stop doing the things that feed into our well-being and our resilience, then is that going to compromise our energy? Yeah, of course it is. If we have more alcohol in our system, is that going to compromise the quality of our sleep? Yeah. So it's not that these things don't drain our energy. Combined, they absolutely do. But where I'm inviting a different perspective on what is draining your energy and how we can recharge is about where it is that you're placing your focus of attention. Now, I remember hearing the words about this spoken many, many years ago by Dr. Joe Dispenza at one of his live workshops, where he said, wherever it is that you place your focus of attention is where your energy flows. And I remember hearing that at such a visceral level because it made such sense to me. And what strikes me is that so many of my private clients that reach out to get help is because they're tired. And they're not just tired in the physical sense, but they're tired in the emotional and mental sense. They're tired of feeling that life is a struggle. They're tired of comparing themselves to other people. They're tired of trying to get ahead in life and feeling frustrated that They're not getting the results that they desire. They're tired because they feel that, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've been to counselling, I've been to CBT, and I'm no real further forward. And they're tired of getting in their own way and being their own worst enemy. They're tired of feeling powerless. They're tired of this victim mentality because there's a greater part of them that knows that's not who they really are, but they can't sort of seem to shift out of that victim-like thinking. They're tired of listening to the naysayers in their head. They're tired of sabotaging their success, their opportunities, their ability to grow, to experience greater levels of happiness and satisfaction in their life. And they're tired of compromising themselves and not meeting their own needs. So many of them, and I totally resonate with this, are tired of trying to prove themselves. It's like being in this game that you can't win, because no matter what we do when we're trying to prove ourselves, when we're operating from that place, it's never enough. We're tired of attracting the wrong people into our life, maybe tired of dating the same kind of guy or the same kind of woman. They're tired of just trying to make things work but never really getting what they want. They're tired of living in fear and scarcity. At the end of the day, they're tired of feeling tired. Now, if you've heard that and it's resonated with you and you're like, yeah, I really get this, I'm tired of feeling like that too, then let me just send out a whole huge wave of love and healing to you, because I really get this. I absolutely really get this, because if I was looking at this as almost a bit of a tick list, I would have gone, the younger version of myself would have gone, yep. And I think to probably most of that. But learning where I was placing my focus of attention on was actually creating my current experience was a real game changer for me. But what I've also noticed, having worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients over the last decade or longer, that as human beings, and thanks to something called the ego, we don't always like to let go. In fact, we like to cling on to the past. And one of the areas that I really observe clients draining their energy is by holding on to those things that have happened in the past. And one of the ways that I work is that I don't require people to tell their life story. I don't require them to do an archaeological dig through all the crap that they've ever been through in order to enable them to feel empowered, to take charge of their life, to move forward and experience the kind of shifts that they desire. But even though my clients are like, oh, I love that I don't need to tell you my life story, it's quite amusing. And I say this with love, but it's like, I think I need to tell you this thing that happened with my mother when I was 15. And I'm like, no, actually, you don't need to do that. But clients, they want to tell their stories. They want to share their stories. They want to almost, and we do this with one another. You get home and you talk to your pal or you talk to your partner about this thing. There was this thing that happened at work. I need to tell you about this. And, you're angry, you're pissed off, you're frustrated, you feel resentful, you feel hard done by, you feel let down, you feel any number of emotions. But talking about it with probably not just one person, depending on the situation or event, but we like to probably talk to lots of people, especially if we're angry and we're pissed off. And it's almost like we're seeking that person to agree with us. We're looking for validation that we are justified, that we have a right to feel like this. And we might be part of forums that continue to feed into our stories, feed into our dramas, feed into our justification for feeling the way that we do. And whilst there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a human emotional response, so say, for example, you've been told that an organisation is selling and you're going to lose your job, or that there's some kind of organisational restructure and so you're on notice of redundancy. Is it normal and is it natural that in some cases you're going to have a human response to that? Now, that human response isn't predetermined. For some of you, you might be like, woohoo, happy days, I can't wait to leave this place. But for some of you, say for example, you're quite new into the organisation and you've just purchased a house and you start worrying about mortgage payments, is it natural that you might start to feel worried? Yeah. If you've worked there for 30 years and you can't believe that this is happening, how dare they do this to me? You're not at retirement age yet, so you can't retire, but you've given them your life's service, and so you feel hard done by. Oh, yeah, we're human. We're gonna have human reactions. And that's not the problem, but the problem comes when we can't let go. When we replay these events, when we talk to everybody about these events, when we ruminate on things that have happened, even just conversations that you've had during the day. And those could be conversations with your colleague, there could be conversations with your manager, it could be conversations with one of the clients whose account you manage. It could be a conversation with any number of people, but you know what it's like when you get home and you're still replaying that conversation. You're still going through it. You're in your mind, you're reacting in the way that you kind of wished you had. You're saying the things to that person in your mind that you wish that you'd said. You wish you'd told them, you know what, you're just a bit of a wanker. And you kind of get a bit of satisfaction from playing that role, from playing that character in your mind. But what happens is that the more that we ruminate on these situations, the more that we keep them alive, that is what drains your energy. Because our energy, we're not using then to be empowered. We're not using it to be a creator. We're literally giving our power away to these thoughts, to these images. And it becomes very draining, because when we are experiencing feeling angry, feeling annoyed, feeling hurt, resentful, frustrated, we're holding the body in the stress response. And so we're holding it in effectively survival mode. And we were not designed to be, as humans, in that stress response for long periods of time. But when we get stuck there, when we're feeling particularly resentful and bitter, and we keep the drama alive, we keep the emotion alive, that emotion, it gets stuck in the body. And so we are stuck. When people say, I feel stuck, it's not that they're stuck in life, it's just that they're stuck in their emotional state. And it keeps you locked in the past. And yet when I ask clients, when they reach out and say, what is it that you want? Some of the things that they might say to me is, I want to feel excited about my future. I want to wake up with a spring in my step. I want to feel energized. I want to feel alive. I want to feel like I've got purpose. I want to be able to take action on a regular basis, you know, whatever your goals are, whether they're professional, whether they are personal, whether they're in your business, if you run your own business, they want to be taking aligned, consistent action. They want to feel like they value themselves, they value their gifts, they value their knowledge, they value who they are as a person. They want to be following their passion, whatever that looks like. They want to experience feeling a sense of success in their career. They want to be moving up the career ladder. They want to be growing their business, earning more money. They want to feel good enough, present. They want to be able to make their dreams a reality, and so much more. And I want you to know that if that resonates with you too, that you can experience all of that and more. But that in order to do that, you have to let go of the stuff that's draining your energy. You have to create space for the good stuff to flow in. And it's a bit like, when you have a really good clear out in your home or in your closet, in your wardrobe, and you just get rid of things that have been hanging around for a really long time that you just don't use anymore, or they don't fit you anymore, or you've just grown out of that kind of style, or there's just stuff that you've been hanging on to and you question, I don't even know why I'm hanging on to this, whether it's an object, whether it's a piece of furniture, whether it's clothing, doesn't really matter what it is, but those items that we're like, just in case, and then 5 years later we've still never touched them, but just in case I might hold on to them. Well, when I talk about creating space, that's similar to what I'm pointing to here, in that we are often holding on to stories, we're holding on to events, we're holding on to situations in our mind things that have happened throughout the year, which don't actually serve any value to us by holding on to them. And so if we want to use our energy to create what it is that we want, then it's about creating that space within our mind, that space within our body, our energy body, our quantum field. Then it is about letting go of those situations. And there are things that happen to us during a year, things that are unexpected. And for some of you listening, maybe there have been things that have happened at work which you saw as an absolute curveball. You weren't prepared to, and it's left you a bit wobbly, and that's okay. Maybe you've gone through situations where you've received a health diagnosis. Maybe you've really struggled with one of your parents who has been ill or needed particular care. One of the things that I learnt not actually that long ago is that somebody that I used to know particularly well has taken their own life. And so do these situations leave an emotional mark? Yeah, and it's not always easy for us to let go of some of these quite significant events which have felt very traumatizing to us, through the power of energy work. So in December, I am going to be running 2 energy clearing sessions where I'll be using the MAP method to work with the power of your superconscious mind, to be able to clear, to be able to release, to let go, to process things that have happened to you, that have left that emotional mark on you, so that we can create space in your mind, we can settle your mind down, we can calm down your central nervous system, we can press that reset button, and we can create space in the quantum field so that you can create, so that you can start 2024 feeling lighter, feeling brighter, feeling excited, empowered, energized. So during this session, what I'm going to be doing is healing and treating any events, any situations, memories, no matter how big or small, that you have experienced during 2023 that you are ready to release. And using energy healing. I'll be alchemizing any stuck and stagnant energy in your body, healing any trauma that you might have experienced, and then aligning your inner self energetically with whatever your desires, your goals, your aspirations are for 2024. So I'm really excited about being able to offer this for people. And so I'm going to be running these sessions on Friday, December the 29th at 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time in the UK, or Saturday, December the 30th at 4 p.m. GMT UK time. So as I said, the session lasts for 90 minutes. You don't even have to have your camera on if you don't want to. You can sit there snuggled up wherever in the world you are and let your superconscious mind work its magic in the background. So you can find details of how to secure your spot for just £35 plus VAT if VAT is applicable to you. Any questions, then do drop them into the comments box. But otherwise, secure your spot now, and I will really look forward to helping you create space and magic in the quantum field in a few weeks' time. Bye-bye for now.